You find out you have 1 hour to live. What do you do with your last hour on earth? Google 1 hour to live scam or legit. Google 1 hour to live scam or legit Reddit. Everyone knows random Reddit threads have the best answers. Every time I want to get opinions and recommendations, I always add Reddit at the end of my search. Somehow I feel more comfortable getting answers from fellow Redditors. Yeah, and it's probably because on other websites, it's just probably a single person writing the article/answer. But on Reddit, even if a person only made a single typo, people would call them out and correct them. I have allergies. I will eat everything I had to stop eating because of them. So much peanut butter. I used to have complete anaphylaxis, throat swelling and all, to peanut butter when I was younger. Somehow I got over it, no idea how. And then I found out I don't like peanut butter. It's weird because I had the exact same reaction to dairy in childhood, but now I can't stop eating pizza and ice cream. I'm also lactose intolerant, so I'll be farting in death. That's just how your body works. You stop having allergies, but can also develop new ones. Really weird though. Also, no one in my family has allergies, and sure enough, I somehow am born with it/developed it at a very young age. It was walnuts and pecans. Yup, when I was younger, bad lactose intolerance. Now gone. But halfway through life I got pet allergies and now my throat closes up with animal hair. So weird. By the way guys, if you are enjoying this video so far, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It will help us out quite a bit, and if you don't enjoy the videos in the future anymore, you can always unsubscribe. Let's get back to the video. Make sure my wife knows how to collect my life insurance policy. Wholesome. Sometimes I joke with her that she won't even be sad when I die because of my policy. She doesn't think it's funny. My dad used to tell me that I'll be lucky if he died before I have to look into college scholarships. He died last summer, and in a few weeks I'll be a high school senior. I've been looking into it, and he was right. I'll be eligible for way more financial aid than if he was alive. I would give up all the money in the world just to see him one more time though. My wife lost both her parents at 27. It wiped all her student debt, and she received a nice life insurance policy no price could make up for losing them so young. She has come a long way with therapy, but I wonder what things would be like if they were still around. I feel for her. I lost both of mine at 28. I'm 31 now, and my child is due in a week. I wish they could live to see her and be grandparents. Life hasn't been the same, as I'm sure your wife knows all too well. You get through it though. Some days are harder than others, but you do it, because that's just what you got to do. If it's natural causes, I'd go to the hospital, so they can harvest my organs fresh, and I'd call my family on the way to say goodbye. Unless the 1 hour is a huge asteroid or something globally cataclysmic, I'd try to get a good view. This is a good answer. I think you'd have to be a good person to think of this. Good for you. I really like your response. You even put greater value on helping others with your organs than saying goodbye to people in person. My hat is off to you, seriously. There are so many desperate people who need organ donors. The hospital also has the best chance of bringing you back to life or fixing you. If I'm going to die in an hour, the best option would be to try and get help at a hospital, or at worst they can help other people with my organs. And hopefully they have therapy dogs to snuggle. Hug all my immediate family. Make videos to send to all the people I love. I just lost someone, and I'd kill for more voicemails and videos of them to replay when I miss them. I don't wanna forget how they looked or sounded. I hope you find more. I'd have to hug my family as well, all jokes in this thread aside. My kids especially. Then for the last 10 minutes I'd drive somewhere and park my car, call an ambulance. I want to give my family hugs, but I don't want them to end up suddenly holding onto a corpse. Edit, not to get too dark, but hey, I'm in the mood I guess. In my darkest depression I planned the end, and it basically was down to the last hour. Drive somewhere with an expensive bottle of booze, Get drunk. Call up an ambulance and give them a very recognizable place to go find my car, like a gas station, etc. I want them to find me first, not some random person, but also don't want my body to sit there for a week. Give my closest friend a quick call, but just say I love them, goodbye. Hang up so they don't hear the shot. Bullet. This was many years ago, before I had a family, and I haven't had a ideation in quite a while. I lost my fiancée to 2 weeks ago, and I'm honestly very grateful that she did it away from home. Hearing the police tell me she was dead was hard enough, so I think the image of finding her would have haunted the hell out of me. Assuming I'm at home when I find out, FaceTime my family and tell them I love them, and talk about the good times we've had, and tell them that they've made my life amazing. Text my friends and let them know how much they mean to me, and thank them for their friendship. Hug my dogs and give them scratches. Sit on my balcony with my girl in my arms, dogs beside me, and let death take me. Edit. Yeah, dying in front of my fiancée would probably traumatize her. Maybe I'd slip away the last 5 minutes and walk to a bench down the road so a passerby could find me. Also, I'd tell her it's okay to move on. I wouldn't want her to be alone the rest of her life. Very sweet, except you're leaving your girlfriend being hugged by a corpse. Probs traumatic for her. Would be traumatic either way. At least with staying in her arms, she knows he loved her to the last second and that there was nothing she could have done to change it. If he went her away for 5 minutes, she would forever feel that if she didn't let him go say for 5 minutes, he would still lived. Get in my car and drive as long as I can and as fast as I can. I'm talking 5-star wanted level. I want to make national news. And right before my timer goes off, I want to drive straight off a cliff and put on the most spectacular car crash anyone's ever seen. Like the drive off the cliff in Groundhog Day. You'll ever think about how many times he committed only to wake up and do it all again. I think there was a post about Groundhog Day a long time ago about that. Let me see if I can find it. One of the most interesting aspects of that movie is how long he's stuck in the loop for. I mean, mastering the piano like that takes years even with natural talent. That one is probably just magic, but he even says he spent 6 months perfecting card throwing. Then he masters ice sculpting and so on. I would honestly say he was in there for 5+ years. Sorry, to answer your question, probably about 1,000, but not too much more. That's my guess. You get bored with that and then do like see who has a piano in their house and doesn't come home all day. I'm at a minimum sending a text to everyone I care about and telling them what they mean to me. I lost a friend in the Vegas shooting, but we had lunch on his layover heading to the festival. He's the only male friend I've ever had that when leaving would look you in the eyes and say I love you, man. Not just me but all of his friends. Every single guy would smile and get that bashful look because they didn't know how to respond. Sort of like the watch what happens when I tell a stranger they're beautiful videos that circulate every now and then. The look in people's faces says it all, like a giant sigh of relief knowing someone cares. To this day I can see him clear as day getting into his Uber, looking me in the eyes and saying I love you, man. After I found out he was gone, I've picked up this habit for those close to me. It means so much just having some say they care. Edit. Thank you for the kind words and awards. It means a lot. Fall in a spiraling anxiety attack, trying to find out what to do for my last hour. Go see my parents. Spend the time with my BF. Eat my last meal. Watch one more good show. Walk in nature. Say my goodbyes to my friends. I have to make choices. What if I disappoint people because I didn't contact them? I don't have a will. What do I want to leave to whom? The dog won't even understand that I'm dead. I spent all my life studying for what? I'm gonna die having done nothing but that. No time to think about that. I should go play fetch with the pup. Do Uber Eats deliver lobster? Is it gonna be good? Imagine having for last supper rubbery cold lobster. Let's go out in a bang with champagne and I don't want to die naked though. I don't want my BF to be traumatized that way either. I've wasted already 5 minutes out of my last 60 minutes trying to figure it out. What if I get to do nothing because I was indecisive? Grab my son and husband in an embrace and tell them for 60 straight minutes every single thing I love about both of them. Take pictures with them. Record videos with them. Record videos for them for future events in their lives I will miss. My mom died when I was 25 and these are all the things I wish we could have done. She hated getting her picture taken or being on video, so now I can barely remember what she looked or sounded like, and that is such a painful reminder whenever I think about her and only have a vague idea of her anymore. Damn, this one really got to me. Do you not have any photos or videos of her at all, or just very few? I have one short video of her singing happy birthday to my son when he was a baby, shortly before she died, and probably a handful of pictures from throughout my life. My stepdad passed away 2 weeks ago. He hated taking pictures. I don't have any videos. I don't know if anyone does. Man, my heart hurts. Hugs to you. So sorry to hear about your stepdad. Hopefully someone somewhere has a video of him that they can share with you, just so you can remember how he moved, how he spoke, etc. In like 7th or 8th grade they asked us to write an essay on what we'd do if we knew we would die in exactly 24 hours. I put down some smart like, well, since I'm not dying till midnight tomorrow, I'm basically immortal. So I'd skydive without a parachute. But I also said I'd come into the school at midnight when it's empty and burn it so all the other kids can have a few days/weeks off school. I got suspended for that, which I maintain to this day. I lived in Maui during the ballistic missile inbound. This is not a drill event. We had 15 minutes. I was frantic trying to find out if it was true. Then the resolve I was gonna die hit. I went outside, smoked a cigarette, and looked out at the ocean. I called none of my 6 kids. Nobody picks up anyway, and I didn't want it to look like I favored one over the other. I reviewed my life and I was good. Luckily it was a mistake. But I'll never forget that feeling. Edit. Holy I've never had a post blow up. Ever. Thank you for all the awards. I need to say that when you think your life is ending in minutes, you don't always want to grab your phone. I said goodbye to my kids through my heart. I wanted to reflect on my life in my own way in the minutes I had left. I know how to text. When it first appeared, were you like, what kind of is this? Then the more you looked at it, you were like, I mean, it could be. Is that how it went? I'm genuinely curious. That's exactly how it went, because that tsunami/emergency sirens didn't sound, but not everything works flawlessly in Hawaii, lol. It wasn't on the news. I couldn't find it on Facebook or Twitter. The governor forgot his Twitter password, so the retraction of the alert was way delayed. Drive to my former best friend's house, tell her I'm sorry for the I said to her. En route, call my closest friend, say bye, love him. Then spend the rest of the time on the phone with my parents while driving. Get my apology out, tell her I love her, then die. Maybe throw in a, I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and that he died for all of my sins, just to be safe. Well, you should probably just tell your former best friend that you're sorry. You could die anytime, and so could she. Just tell her. Seconded. Super unfortunate, but she's already out of my life. Getting in touch will only hurt both of us. You know your life and circumstances better than any stranger does, so take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. That being said, wouldn't it be better to clear the air and leave it at that, rather than to potentially find out she died and regret never apologizing? I completely get it, if it just isn't doable though. Either way, I hope things go well for both of you. Deleting online accounts and praying. Good point. Yeah, I'm deleting everything. It's funny, I've always thought about leaking my passwords publicly if I knew I was gonna die. Free for all on my money, my work, my entire digital life. If I can't set a better legacy for myself, that will do. Sounds fun. Sounds like one of those novels where you have to play a game for a robot to decide you're worthy for the hidden knowledge cache, and your family kills each other for 200 years, only to find out it's a Reddit and Twitter account, and both websites are gone. Gather my so and son up into the truck so I can get to my daughter who, over the course of the pandemic, has become distant from me in every way, lives with her mom most of the time. I love her, I miss her, I've tried to ensure my opinions don't taint her relationship with her mom. The same courtesy was not given to me, and somehow dad works around COVID patients daily during a very unsure time. So I'm not going to be able to come to you for a while. Also, your brother and stepmom are going to stay with her mom for a couple months for the same reason got turned into he always put his career before family. It's why we split up, and why he abandoned you. That last statement is almost verbatim my ex discussing me trying to protect our daughter and my ex's dad, the transplant recipient, from getting infected. I can get to her in 48 minutes if I don't pay much attention to speed limits. I'd love for the last 12 minutes to be devoted to holding my family and letting my kids know there are 1,000 things I won't be able to teach them now, but that loving each other is a majority of them. To tell so that I've considered her my spouse since a few months after we moved in together, and that I hope she knows vows were something I tried to exercise daily in my love for her. If I was sure they knew that. If I was sure they knew I wanted them to grow and live and make more memories without me in them. I think I could maybe find a moment of peace. The only thing I'd really ask is a kiss from my daughter to hug and cry it out, and my son, who has some speech difficulties, to be able to say I love you, Dad. Call her man. Every day. Most days she does not pick up. When she does, she is angry. Still working on it. The crazy part is I left her mom well before I started my first career. She cheated on me. A lot. So when I got informed of the several years and multiple people, I left. Somehow that makes me the bad guy to her. I'm not perfect, but I don't cheat, I don't steal, and I do try to own my wrongdoings. Shrug, and do whatever seems most pleasurable at this time. If you suddenly change when death threatens you, you should think about the fact that you will indeed die, and that the only difference between an hour and 60 years might be the illusion of plentifulness. If you aren't living your life to the fullest right now, you should rethink. The difference between an hour and 60 years is that with a guarantee of an hour you no longer have long-term plans. You no longer have to cut the grass, do laundry, restock the fridge. That whole rethink your life, if you're doing something different thing ignores that doing mundane things is part of the effort required to live longer than that 1 hour. If I was given an hour, I probably wouldn't spend it doing what I do on an average Wednesday night, but that doesn't make my average Wednesday night a waste, it just means it's a different set of circumstances that have different priorities. There would probably be some panic and trying to find out if it was true. Then, if it were where I'm now, call my husband. Avoid calling other family members. Continue with my planned walk in the park and enjoy the beauty. If I was closer to home, go home, snuggle the cat and the spouse. Cat is highly likely to reject snuggling because he is an awful jerk. Husband will probably be having an anxiety attack fighting the news, and the cuddling will last a few minutes at best. So I would end up calming him down. Probably, honestly, panic. Probably keep denying the inevitable and tell myself it can't be true and it can't be the end, that I can't die, won't die. Think about if my life even mattered, or if I have ever done anything with actually significance, about the legacy I'd, wouldn't, leave, about if I had done anything that made my life worth dying for. Realize the answer to all of that is no, and transpire into madness as I can no longer deny that I'm going to die, and truly grasp the fact that dying isn't just a word that describes something that happens to everyone. It means I genuinely won't exist. 3 very different ideas come to my mind. 1. Take my dog outside with me and enjoy the beauty of nature, reflecting on all my love and happiness one last time. Soak in the sun and embrace the earth, absorbed in thought. I'd struggle to think about the concept of goodbye, but distract myself with gratefulness for all the various relationships and unconditional love that I've experienced. 2. Being someone that's always followed the law, I'd want to experience the adrenaline of something like stealing an expensive car and driving as fast as I possibly can. I'd try to avoid hurting anyone, but I'd definitely run from the police and embrace the chase. Knowing that I wouldn't be alive to face any consequences and this would be my last opportunity to experience life, I might try to be reckless for once. 3. Take my fiancée to an amusement park and ride roller coasters together. I wouldn't say anything about dying. Those dates with her have been the happiest days of my life, but thinking about the idea is making me tear up. I would hug my wife and my son, play fetch with my dog, lay on the bed with the two of them and watch the way their faces move when they talk and smile. Make plenty of videos telling my son good job on achieving, and videos telling him how proud I am, so he can watch them on any occasion. Same for my wife, because she would deserve it for carrying on life with a 3-year-old and a German Shepherd. I don't believe I would be able to do it with a straight face, though. Just typing this response has me bawling my eyes out thinking about how many times I've seen my son look up to a question and think about an answer. How many times he smiled while I wasn't looking, and how it really could be my last hour. Let alone how many times I've wasted an hour with my wife in the years we've been together. I'd be a mess. Thank gosh I'm going to live forever. Call my parents and try to meet them halfway in between our houses. They live a little less than 2 hours away, so maybe I'd get to have my last few minutes with them if we met in the middle. If not that, set up my computer with the password written down and some instructions on where to find my will and other things. I wrote some letters to my family and some friends when I got really sick a little while back, just in case something bad happened. I'd want them to know everything I feel without me feeling rushed. There's also hate mail and therefore some people who really up my life. I want to haunt them with guilt from beyond the grave lol. Then I'd go over to my boyfriend's house and just lay in bed with him until the end. I don't think there's much else I'd want. Assuming I find out at a more appropriate hour. Text my last words to a few of my relatives, namely probably something akin to I love you, but I'm dying and I just gotta say life is exhausting. Then double check my life insurance is good to go to my best friend / cousin as I want, and just tell him my only demand is he gives my cat a good long life, buy him nice cat food, give him good clean water, and lots of attention, since I'm sure he'll miss me. The rest of the 500k. All I ask is you enjoy it, and try to not visit me in hell too soon. I'ma need him to have lots of stories to keep me entertained. When he shows up I'm sure I'll have gotten bored. Then I'd probably give my cat a little sleeping medicine, take some stronger sleeping medicine for myself, put the heated blanket on low, throw on a movie, and cuddle. If all works out, he would be out cold snuggling me, the heated blanket making sure he doesn't even notice a temperature change, and I'll go peacefully in my sleep. After that I don't know what'd happen, what time frame it'll be before my body is found, and I'm moved and all that. Hopefully it's after my cat wakes up and goes and does his own thing, but before he's realized I'm dead. This is the end of the video. Thank you guys for staying with me till the end. If you enjoyed watching this, you might as well watch these too.